As mentioned in my last phone show, you probably don't need to buy another shiny new smartphone right now. Heck, what you currently have is probably more than you actually need, but there's obviously a minimum specification beyond which you're genuinely sacrificing core features and convenience. What I wanted to look at here is what I consider the minimum specification for a smartphone in 2018 and looking ahead into 2019. I've gone through a few likely contenders to show off as examples here, but I've settled on this, the Nokia 6.1, released at the start of 2018 and available worldwide, running Android 8.1 and getting all the Android One updates direct from Google. Yes, I normally use the Galaxy S9 Plus shooting this show, but with this Nokia 6.1 signed into Google and with all my applications installed, I can run my life, pay for things, enjoy entertainment, stay secure, and more, all on a phone which costs under £200, including VAT in the UK. So why did I pay £600 more for my S9 Plus? I could talk about better camera, better speakers, better display, faster processors, cheap charging, but these are all kind of nice to haves at the end of the day. If you're just worried about a phone being a phone, along with all that 2018 dictates a phone should do, then look no further. Now, don't think this is an advert for Nokia. I have no connection whatsoever with the HMD global-owned reinvigorated brand. And if you wanted to go elsewhere, then you can find a similar specification for even less by going for a Chinese brand like Xiaomi, or even the Nokia 6.1 Plus, which sounds like an upgrade but isn't. You have to be aware that Chinese phones and phones destined for the Asian market often don't come with NFC. And without this vital facility, you probably won't be doing tap to pay anytime soon. But on with my reasoned smartphone minimum as at mid-2018. USB Type-C quick charging and expansion functions. I'm just not giving micro USB, fiddly micro USB, the time of day anymore in terms of recommendations. And yes, I'm looking at the Honor 7X here, which costs £280 at the end of last year and had micro USB. NFC, as mentioned, and a fingerprint scanner for easy tap to pay. 3 GB of RAM, absolute minimum. I've seen too many smartphones with 2 GB RAM struggle in terms of keeping multiple applications going at the same time in 2018. Either 64 gig of storage minimum, or at least the flexibility of expanding a 32 gig minimum via micro SD card. Devices with 16 gig internal storage will struggle a few weeks down the road when all your applications and games are in and when they all start needing some extra workspace. Note that display resolution and chipset speed aren't really critical. 720p displays sound very old-fashioned, but being lower end, these tend to come with IPS LCD tech, meaning a full RGB stripe, not pentile, which is arguably equivalent to a full 1440p pentile AMOLED display, depending on how you count the sub-pixels. Keep up at the back. My example Nokia 6.1 here is a notch up anyway at 1080p LCD. So basically 2160p pentile equivalents, kind of amazing at the price. And chipsets are something it's easy to get snobbish about, but anything recent will be okay. The newest Snapdragon 400 and 600 series, for example, anything with 800 series or above. And then there are all the Exynos and Kirin chipsets and equivalents. Unless you're a super geek, don't worry about chip speeds or benchmarks or millisecond UI lag. Once you head down that rabbit hole, you're chasing a tail for years. Again, my example device here, the Nokia 6.1, early 2018, has a Snapdragon 630 and is absolutely fine for all regular apps and games. Battery capacity is important. Obviously, a higher milliamp hour figure is better, but there's no excuse for any modern smartphone to run out of power before the end of even a heavy day. No one needs a razor-thin phone, so let's allow a little extra thickness for a decent battery. Again, my example, Nokia 6.1 here has a 3000 mAh cell, and I think that's a healthy minimum right now. Imaging is probably the biggest differentiator, and obviously the £1,000 flagships all have better, larger apertured, optically stabilised cameras for really low light arty photos. But if you're mainly just taking casual snaps in good to average light, you can save an awful lot of money with something of this grade. Here are some sample photos from the 16 megapixel f/2.0 camera in the Nokia 6.1, again costing under £200. Not too shabby, eh? So there is no real minimum for imaging. If you know you need a better camera, then you're already looking higher up the phone food chain. What else? Well, speakers. Much as I love loud, high-quality speakers in a phone, most people just need something reasonably loud and not too tinny. Here's the example Nokia 6.1 at full volume. Bit of Gary Moore and friends paying tribute to Thin Lizzy. Eric Bell on guitar. It's no Marshall London, no Galaxy S9 Plus, but it's easily good enough for listening to podcasts or something like YouTube audio or FM radio. Well, actually no, because the FM radio system in the Nokia 6.1 is currently utterly broken. Nokia, sort it out, eh? Personally, I'd throw also in a requirement for an audio jack, but I realise that some people think this is just me being a stick in the mud. Or hey, you might agree with me. For what it's worth, it's up there on the Nokia 6.1. On the software side, it's essential to have guaranteed security updates. Never mind base Android version upgrades. These are nice but not must-haves. What really matters are application updates via the store, and again crucially OS security updates to protect when online against vulnerabilities and attacks that get discovered during each year. Now, Nokia has so far an excellent record in Android security updates, and this being an Android One phone, in theory the update should come direct from Google. I'll keep an eye on that, but it should be even more bang up to date. Motorola are pretty good, Sony good, Samsung goodish, Huawei and Honor a bit patchy, and so on, right down to imported Chinese phones that never get an update of any kind. It's a kind of a sliding scale. So we have a full set of requirements, hardware and software. Anything meeting all of these will, I contend, suit anyone fine through 2019 and even into 2020, as will this £200 Nokia 6.1 and without breaking the bank. So comments welcome on my smartphone minimum specification, and we'll read the best of them out on the Phone Show Chat podcast. Can you think of a mainstream match that's better than the Nokia 6.1? No, not the 6.1 Plus. That hasn't got NFC. That's better than the Nokia 6.1 2018 in Europe.